Hey folks, welcome to Craigsistential Crisis. This is the pod, but before we get there, we just wanted to take a moment to address another thing in a long series of things we need to address. But today, that is the insurgence of hate crimes against the Asian American community. They don't always get called that by the media, but it's pretty clear that that is a thing that's happening, and it's pretty easy to draw the line as to why this might be happening. So we're going to call them hate crimes. They're happening. And we just wanted to do something, as we always do. It's easy to feel powerless, but obviously something you can do right now that won't go away is making sure you are donating to the right places and amplifying the voices of people whose voices need to be amplified right now. So we wanted to do that. Sarah and I each have a place that could use your money and your resources. And they're going to be a couple places that are helping amplify voices and track and stop this insurgence of anti-Asian discrimination. So, Sarah, do you want to go first? Want to tell the people where you want to send them?
Yeah, for sure. So, in light of the recent events that the recent attack, the white supremacist terrorist attack that occurred in Atlanta, both of us have looked up some Atlanta-based organizations that could use your support. The one that I'd like to talk about is the National Asian Pacific American Women's Forum. And they have a chapter that is specifically in Atlanta, so that is the best place to go to donate. So that is going to be N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, P as in Paul, A as in Apple, W as in William, F as in Frank, and then _ATL, like Atlanta. That is on Instagram. You can go ahead and check their Instagram account out, and there's a link in their bio to donate. They do a lot of work to build power and empower communities in Georgia, as well as specifically in Atlanta. So go ahead and check that out. Support those voices right now, because they deserve our support always.
Yeah, and we'll definitely put that link in the show notes for you to go to, as well as the link for Asian Americans Advancing Justice, or the AAAJ. Their website is advancingjustice-aajc.org. Again, that's a link that's going to be in the notes. They have been working since 1991 to fight for Asian Americans in the national conversations that determine policies that shape their lives. And so they've been in the game for a while, and they are made up of 5 different organizations that are all advocating for the civil and human rights of Asian Americans. So they are also doing work in Atlanta as well. So they could use the help. That link again in the show notes. I'm sure they have an Instagram too. I didn't check. That's pretty. It's pretty hip for a cool organization to have, right? I mean, they're probably all on TikTok now, right?
Yeah, everyone's on TikTok. I feel like most of my, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like most of my news and my sort of like baby advocacy, baby activism is done on Instagram nowadays. Like, I feel like, for better or for worse, Instagram has really turned into the information source for me, which is a little scary.
Give what you can. I'm sure there's going to be more places that you might be able to give in the future. We'll keep you updated, and we'll get to the show now.
Hey, welcome to another week of living in... We live in a place. We live in a society.
Bubble? A yellow submarine?
We live in a world.
Wow, we live in a society. You excited for the Snyder Cut?
Oh, that was... I'm sorry. That is not an exclusive reference to that.
I mean, tell that to Twitter.
I won't be going on Twitter, thank you. Twitter makes me want to gouge my own eyeballs out.
You're not wrong.
I'm not looking forward to the Snyder Cut.
No, we don't got to talk about it. It's fine. We can move on.
Okay, I was going to ask legitimately, are they calling the non-Snyder Cut, I think they should call it Uncut.
Man.
Those are for all my circumcision stands out there.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm in such a weird mood. I haven't seen
No,
anyone
I
in
love it.
person for a long time. It's been.
I'm just trying to figure out what else to call like circumcision stands, because there must be better, shorter nicknames for them, right?
Yeah, I guess it's anti-circumcision stands. Circumcision
So,
anti-stands. Because you're
we're
uncut.
standing. Okay, so we are standing non-circumcised dinglings.
Yes.
Okay.
We should stop
So-
talking about this.
Floppy dicks.
Oh, this is
Like floppy disk, but different. You know, you just switch the letters, and then there you go. There we go. Hey, I'm a real floppy dick myself.
I don't.
This is very early for the pod.
This
for
is-
this conversation.
Yeah, it's too early in the day. The sunlight is still out, so I still have to look upon my
That
own
daylight savings
horrible face.
really crept up on us.
Yeah, it did this year. Let me tell you, I didn't know shit was going on. I think that it's easy to forget how much of like my perception of the world is absorbed through the people around me, which sounds like a heady sentence, but it's just like I haven't seen anyone in person for like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days, which is fine. I like feel like I'm doing fine mentally, but I didn't realize it was daylight savings time. I did not realize today was St. Patrick's Day, the day that we're recording this.
Right.
I just feel like a lot of things just go right over my head unless somebody like takes me and tells me and shakes me.
No, it's yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like especially this week, I feel like a bunch of stuff occurred that I just normally would be more on top of or at least be aware of, and this time around I put on a green sweater because
Yeah, you did.
it's something.
Yeah, you did. You're not getting pinched today.
I almost did. It was a scary situation. Luckily, I remembered, and I fought the leprechauns off.
Ah, yes, a near pinching.
Yeah, you don't want to be woken up by a horde of leprechauns. Leprechauns.
Leprechauns. Leprechauns.
Leprechauns.
I will say that when I was in kindergarten, there was our kindergarten teacher liked to keep up the ruse of Leroy the leprechaun, who lived in the kindergarten classroom. There was a tiny hole cut into one of the walls where he lived, and she had a little stamp with feet on it, and she would stamp all our desks, and she would put green sparkles everywhere. There was like a whole
wow.
saga, a whole lore behind Leroy. But I just wanted to shout out Miss Payne, kindergarten, really life-defining
Good job,
moments.
Miss Payne. Yeah, I gotta ask. So that was just around St. Patrick's Day, I assume? Or-
Yeah, although he did get mentioned because the hole in the wall was actually there.
Oh my God.
So, it had to be addressed sometimes. But yeah, I mean, he really came into full swing around the holiday that would make sense.
That would make sense. I don't, you got that year-round hole in the wall. I mean, of course he's gonna come up. If I thought there was a leprechaun living in the wall of my classroom every day, my first instinct would be like, I got to check on that hole. What's going on? What's happening?
I got to check
so
on
funny.
that hole. I think that all the time to myself.
My kindergarten teacher also played elaborate ruses on the classroom. There's two I remember that I feel like were from the same holiday season, but one was that around Christmas we every kid wrote a letter to an elf, and then we sent it in the mail to the North Pole, and then of course we got letters back, and they were frosty cold, Sarah.
How did
So
they
they could
do
have only
it?
come from the North Pole.
How did they do it?
Yeah, it wasn't like regular mail. That's all room temperature. Nah, these were icy.
Crazy.
And then they were all different elves wrote each of us back and responded and let us know that Santa would be hearing our concerns.
What did you write
concerns,
about in
but-
concerns? What did you...
Dear Santa, I am concerned for your health. You eat so many cookies every night.
And
It
he was
would be
like, you
concerning.
fat-shaming asshole, get away from
Yeah, you're getting cold this year. And a Bowflex. How you like that? Yeah? You're not
Honestly-
so fit.
Those are pretty expensive. I wouldn't be mad at a
Pretty good
Bowflex.
gifts.
Resale value, let me tell you.
The other one that reminds me of the leprechaun thing is we read the classic gingerbread man story. I don't know what it's called. Do you know the gingerbread man?
Sure.
Is that the name of the story? I don't know. But that story.
Yes.
The story.
Oh, Shrek, yes.
Yeah, we read Shrek. And but no, we read that whole story, and then we baked a gingerbread man as a class, and it was kind of a large loaf thing that would fit in like a 9x12 pan. I don't know. But yeah, and we baked it and we celebrated it, and then we like went out to recess and we came back and it was gone and it had ran away and there was like crumbs that we had to follow, and we eventually found it, but it turned into a bunch of smaller gingerbread man cookies that we could all enjoy.
So they tried to escape and you hunted them down and
we
ate
hunted
them.
him down and split him into pieces, which is the moral of the story,
Yes.
if I remember.
Yes,
correctly.
definitely.
Anyway, why are kindergarten teachers trying to lie to us so much?
Well, they know that we can't handle the world. Honestly, I wish I still had a kindergarten teacher to curate the world for me.
I wish a college professor would, pretend that the Easter Bunny was real, just for the day. Just it's like, kids, look around, look at your desk. What's that, an egg? Oh my God, you know what day it is? We're like,
Why are we there on Sunday?
yeah. A lot of questions. One, why are we there on Sunday? Two, shouldn't we get back to like the exam, or are we graded on the egg finding? Because I'd rather do the exam if that's the thing I'm being graded on. Not that I don't want to hunt for eggs, but it just seems like bad timing. Unless I am being graded on the eggs, then I will gladly do it. I just need to know if that's the case. Yeah.
If I was getting
Wouldn't work
graded
as
on
well.
eggs, I would do great. I was great at egg hunts. I'm just going to say it. I will say that I was traumatized for a very long time, like legitimately traumatized, as in this was one of the formative memories of my childhood.
Jeez.
In that my parents like hid eggs around our backyard, and like we always did real eggs. Like plastic eggs were not a thing my family did. But they would hide real eggs in our backyard, and one time I picked up an egg that I thought had been dyed black, but it was just covered in ants. And so for a long time I had a real ant phobia. Like growing up, I was terrified of ants and only grew out of it like in high school.
That's, you know what? That's totally fair. Like a couple ants, no big deal. But like when you see them as a collective, like as a collective consciousness working together, it's pretty freaky.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, was the collective consciousness.
Their teamwork is horrifying. But really, though, I mean, I've had an ant problem before, and it was no fun. But like the sheer number of ants, like, and it's you can't really like sweep up ants. You can't vacuum ants effectively. You just
okay. No, that's fair.
I mean, you can do it, but then they're alive still, and you got to deal with them, and it's just like, oh my God, there's just no fast, easy way to handle ants. Except for a flood.
It's a little haunting that we're talking about this, because I legitimately last night had a nightmare. When I was in college, we had a really bad flea infestation. I lived in Southern California. Fleas love the heat. I had a cat at the time, and we got fleas. Our douchebag roommates in college. I don't think either of them will ever listen to this podcast, but I had 2 douchebag roommates in college, 2 dudes, and they like loaned our vacuum to the next door neighbor, and the next door neighbor used it to vacuum up their fleas like fucking assholes, and then didn't empty the vacuum and gave it back to us and gave us fleas. And that was it took almost a year to get fully rid of them, because we would think that they were all gone, and then they would come back again when it got hot. And I just remember there was I think 2 weeks where all my roommates were out of town. It was just me living in this apartment, and it was like so hot, and there were fleas everywhere.
Oh my God.
And I had a nightmare last night that I was back at that time in my life. And now we're talking about pests.
Well,
what's happening?
So sorry. We can, you know what? We'll get off the subject. We should move on.
Let's start the show. Yeah.
Let's start the show.
You caught my eye in the grocery line, and I fancied myself a man worth your time, and I couldn't help thinking I wished you were mine, a man-seeking woman whose total is 589. I don't do this often. I'm not like the guys, which is why I find myself in a sort of Craigsistential.
podcast for listener the fuck of the Irish. It's time for Craigsistential Crisis, the show where we take the misconnection section into new directions. I'm Colin Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson, and I'm traumatized.
Like luck of the Irish. Do you get it?
No.
I know it won't make sense to our listeners because St. Patrick's Day will have already passed, but
here
I'm
we
just
are.
in the mood today, I guess. So
I guess so.
behind the curtain.
That was what an entrance. So this is a show called Craigsistential Crisis. We go on to the misconnection section of I almost said of podcast. We go in the misconnection section of Craigslist, which is like an open message board for the internet where people try to reconnect with people they passed and thought they had a little bit of a moment with. And we like to send each other these misconnections. We blind read them. Most of them are usually from our home city, Portland. Shout out. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get into them. Talon, do you want me to cold read one of yours first, since we'll end on one of mine? Did you take place in a mental health study at ITT Tech, Portland? Please help me solve a murder. Please help me solve a murder. Did you take place in a mental health study at ITT Tech, Portland that used an IBM device warned that head could read your mind? Or has anyone you know? Please contact me ASAP. Thank you, Christopher.
Okay, so you got that one.
I do. What a mystery.
The next one is a response, and I think this person's just saying what we're all thinking.
Okay. Regarding, did you take place in a mental health study at ITT Tech, Portland? Please tell me more. And are you okay? Wow. Yeah, I'm glad somebody said it.
I'm glad someone said it.
Somebody needed to say it. Yeah, this is a... wow. This is one. This is a thing. This is somebody yelling into the void right here.
Yeah, this is, this feels like the plot of Minority Report. I don't know if you remember.
I've never watched that, so...
Well, fix that, but... Or not. I don't know. I'm sure I watched it a long time ago. I can't really say it was good. But Minority Report, the whole thing was like there are these... it takes place in the not-so-distant future. And I actually think we passed that year. Or this is the year. I don't remember. I don't remember Minority Report. Don't quiz me on Minority Report. But Tom Cruise is in it. And there are these three... people who have future sight. They have That's So Raven
Got it.
disease.
It's the future I
and
can see, yes.
It's a future they can see. And so these three precogs basically sit in the tank all day and just visualize the future. And the police force at the time watches what their visions entail. And they look for crimes and they stop crime before it happens.
Oh, that feels illegal.
It's a bit of an ethics thing, right?
Yeah, and they're kind of saying we're doing that already. We do that already.
Kind of right. This reminds me of the out of context conversation we had about the new Twilight book and pedophiles. But
when is Twilight ever out of context?
that's true.
I would also be ITT Tech. Correct me if
Yes.
I'm wrong. Those are a for-profit scam college, correct? That's like University of Phoenix.
I mean, I don't know anyone of note who has come from them.
Okay, I think ITT Tech is one of those ones where, it would be like Cartoon Network at like 2 a.m. and you'd be watching shows you didn't really understand because they were too old for you, but then an ITT Tech commercial would come on, really trying to aim for those of you who still live in your mom's basement. Not that that's a judgment, just watch out because ITT Tech is trying to poach you.
Yeah, just if you live in your mom's basement, just be aware of a scam going around involving ITT Tech.
Yeah, I also like saying ITT Tech in case you couldn't tell.
ITT Tech.
ITT Tech.
I would have thought the second T was for tech, but I guess not.
I don't think it is.
Institute of Technology and
Technology.
and technology. It's different.
Yeah, two different things. This one, I mean, on one level, I'm like, this strikes me as a person who is maybe having a bit of a mental health crisis, is my true and honest reading of it. But I do appreciate the very kind response, and please tell me more, and are you okay? I like it.
That's what I want to know. I want to know more. Mm-hmm. I want to know, is there a murder that happened close to you? And are you trying to get someone who can read minds or have their mind read to help you? Because I don't... Well, reading minds makes sense. I understand why you'd want that guy on your team. Why would you want someone who may have had their mind read by a machine? I just want to know. You're either trying to build a machine that reads minds, or I don't know what the other thing is. So
It's the other T in tech. That's what it is. It's as much of a mystery as that is.
T for the X gene. It's just sideways.
Well, if anyone does want to help solve a murder that happened possibly at ITT Tech Portland, please get in contact with Christopher on Craigslist.
ASAP.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send one over to you if you want to read that. Mine are in order, so I don't have to give any special peeks behind the curtain.
That's good for you. Black patch jacket, pink mask. Hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. I'm just a large human with a tendency to loom. I'm a loomer. That's it.
Talon, you're a tall guy. Are you ever
Yes.
afraid? Are you ever afraid that people think you're looming?
Yes.
Because I think inherently looming has to do with height.
It's all about height. I don't think short people are capable of looming.
Damn.
Even if they're much taller than whoever they're around. I just think it would be an extraordinary coincidence at that point. I don't think it'd be looming. I also stumbled upon this misconnection. I did relate. And here's, I guess, exactly when I became aware of my largeness.
Take us back.
Yeah, I was in college. I think probably junior year.
So we were past the hat phase.
Yeah, I guess we could say we're past that.
Okay, I just like to know context. Thank you.
Yes. God, the timeline of my fashion is
Kegel, that's what those are called. Kegel hats.
Kegel, not Kegel. Kegel.
Kegel hats, yeah.
Not a Kegel. Nope, no, you're saying it weird. It's Kegel, not Kegel. Those are very different things.
But regardless, this was after that phase. Got it.
It was after that. I went to a concert for a singer-songwriter I really liked. Her name's Keena Granis. Discovered her on YouTube. Just one of those things. An early YouTube find that was just girl singing acoustic guitar, and I was like, I actually really like her voice. I think her voice sounded very effortless, kind of a Leslie Odom Jr. vibe to me, not to everyone. She was my ringback tone for a period of time. As people would tell you, I kind of had a crush.
This is it was
lot. Kind of a big thing.
Yeah, I can tell you're spiraling about Keena Granis when what I want to get to is the looming.
So she did a show in town. I went with a friend. It was great. There was a meet and greet afterwards because, I don't know, the Aladdin Theater I feel like does meet and greets after everything. And they don't tell you they're happening. They're just like, all right, and I hope you enjoyed the show. On your way out is the meet and greet. And you just really have to pass it on your way out. So you're just like, I guess I'll wait in line. Anyway, Keena Granis is very small. I'm very not small. Yeah. And I was waiting in line to say hi, and it was my turn. And I feel like I was just very excited, and I approached her for a hug. And I feel like my wingspan is probably I don't know. She's probably 2/3 of the way there. Anyway, I felt very uncomfortable by how much bigger I was than this person in that moment. And she was very friendly and very kind. Did I see fear in her eyes? Maybe a little bit, because I'm very much bigger. And I was like, oh no, I'm too big for this?
Oh no.
I don't know. I didn't know how to put it into words, but I think that was the first time I loomed. And then I was like, cool, I have to make sure not to do that on a regular basis, because that's probably a lot for people.
I mean, it feels like you didn't really do anything. You just existed.
I just existed, but that's all it is when you're tall sometimes. It's just you being tall makes it weird. To stand in an elevator with someone significantly taller than you is weird. I now run into people who are actually significantly taller than me, which, I don't know. I feel like every generation's just getting taller. But,
yeah, I was about to say, I like how you said that like it was a recent, taller people were just invented.
They didn't exist for a long time for me
they
until
just rolled them out.
2019. I was like, what the fuck is in the milk now? What is going on? Anyway, if you're tall, this is our society. This is our life, and obviously, you're not trying to do anything, but sometimes it's just the height difference can make people uncomfortable. It's not you, and I understand where this person's coming from.
Very
I don't know
apologetic.
if you need to call yourself a loomer, but
You don't need to make that your like identity, but
yeah.
a blanket apology. They just must be rough to live like that. Just needing to put out a blanket apology on Craigslist about looming.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not the roughest thing I deal with. It's not, that my height is not the reason I will sometimes walk to the other side of the street to not make people uncomfortable.
Do tell.
Yeah, well, being a man and being black.
Double whammy.
Double whammy. And add tall into the mix, oof.
Oof.
I'm going to be dealing with a lot of Craigslist apologies if I were to apologize every time I felt like I was inconveniencing someone by existing.
No. Oh, no. I hate this. I hate that is how you feel, but I get it. It's completely understandable. And that's how society's shaped you, and it sucks.
It does suck.
Shaped you mentally, not society didn't make you tall.
Society did not grow me into a tall boy. No. But I did it with willpower and positive energy.
Lots of milk. Just kidding.
Lots
you
of
don't
milk.
believe in milk, right?
I only use milk to like cook with or bake with. That's kind of what
that's
I use
upsetting.
milk for.
All right.
Yeah,
I
know.
We can move on to the next misconnection because I'm getting sad thinking about milk. Okay. Sad about milk, not about the expectations society puts on you. Let's make that clear.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. You're not sad about that at all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. St. John's regular. We virtually met as we were looking for some slippery company near St. John's. Lost your contact info. Please get back to me. We were making it our regular... Oh, my God. We were making it our regular thing. You had nice nipples and I was at full attention. Let's hear from you. Good times we had. I can't believe I bungled that. That was so good. What a good misconnection. And I bungled it. Oh, man. Some slippery company.
Slippery company is the name of the episode, 1 and 2.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, there's this. I mean, I just love all of it.
I do. Isn't there a band called Bad Company? I know there's a song called Bad Company.
Company the musical? Company
Okay.
The Broadway cast recording?
Oh, no.
Is that what you're talking about?
I'm going to stop then. I hate
The company is actually the artist who does a lot of Broadway cast recordings, but they're all different casts. So it's the company of Hamilton or the company of Into the Woods. Is that what you mean?
No, we're not talking about musical theater. How did you trap
Which
me into this?
musical theater movie are you most looking forward to? Is it the Cats sequel? Because here's why I'm excited for Cats 2.
Slippery Company. Such a good name. Also, like, I love that it's ambiguous. Like, okay, Slippery Company, you're like, oh, that's a little strange. But then you're like, okay, lost your contact info. Sure, like a regular thing. And then it just hits you with nice nipples and I was at full attention.
Yeah. You had nice boobs and my penis was erect.
Not the whole boob.
Not the whole boob.
Just the nipple.
Just the tip.
Just the tip of the nip.
Just a boob tip. Just the tip of the nip.
Just the tip of the nip. Oh my, is that why they're called nips? Is because it's at the tip? Is there something there? Or am I just, I'm drawing conclusions from nothing.
No. I don't know. I wasn't there when they named in nipples, but.
You just calmed me like a scared woodland animal. You went,
I don't
No.
Well, I don't want you to feel like you're wrong, because who the fuck knows? For all we know, that's absolutely accurate, and it's headcanon. Nipples are named nipples because they are
the tipple of the
the tipple of the breast.
Yeah, which that doesn't.
You got your tip. That was the original 2 genders that they wanted to put on the signs, was tips and nips.
Oh, I hate it. Thank you. Also, everyone has nipples, so if you put nipple, it would just be discriminatory against people who don't have nipples.
We couldn't figure out a word for vulva that rhymed with ip. So. I don't know. VIP is weird, right?
VIP, because then you think it's fancy people get to go in that bathroom because it's VIPs,
or
essentially.
Or if you just hear it, you might think someone's trying to say it's a restroom only for vice presidents. But
Yes, which would be, you would be mistaken.
you would be mistaken.
Well, I hope this person finds their hookup. Again, this one slipped by the Portland Craigslist censors. They're very stringent.
Slipped.
And I think, thank you. And I do have to say, I think that creates a little bit higher quality content for us, because you have to be a little more, you got to have a little more ingenuity to get your post to stay up.
Yeah, you have to write with, you have to hide it. You have to hide it within a little more
Story.
Make it look classier, make it look like it
Yeah.
has more to say. But really all you're saying is, we used to, I guess, do it, but virtually, but like, want to do it again?
And instead of just being like, do you want to be fuck buddies? Do you want to be slippery company?
Slippery company. That's so, like, you could definitely, like, I think you could introduce someone as that, and it might even go over the heads of who you're talking to if they're like just an adult. I think I don't know. It's kind of a word that, should we just use it to replace like partner?
It's the new partner. Yes.
My slippery companion.
But only if you're fucking.
Only if you're fucking.
Only if you're fucking. That's what we got to know.
Yeah. Okay.
All
I'm
right.
down.
Okay, great. All right, I got another one for you.
Ooh, boy. Here we go. Golden Corral. My friend and I came in for lunch today, and I saw you sitting in a booth.
I think it's supposed to be booth.
With another female, and most likely your young granddaughter. The first time I walked by, I said, "Wow," slightly out loud, which I'm sure you heard me. You were wearing a colorful low-cut dress that looked hot and sexy against your lovely dark skin, and sported the girls nicely. The next time I walked by your table, I said, "How you doing?" and smiled widely and said, "Fine." I really wanted to ask you if you tasted as sweet as you looked, but that would be inappropriate with your young granddaughter at your side. I hope you see this, as I'd love to get together for lunch or coffee and go from there. Tell me something about myself or what I was wearing, so I know it's the hot and sexy lady I interacted with. AI.
I think it's Al.
No, I think this was written by a computer. Al's probably what it is, yeah.
No, I like your conviction that it was written by artificial intelligence.
Well, I honestly thought it was like two initials. You know, I's, capital I's, and L's, they look exactly the same.
Who decided that? Why did God make the alphabet like that?
Why did God fuck up right there and just leave it in? If he's God, he can undo it whenever he wants. He's like Thanos all the time. Okay. Anyway,
wow. Much like this person said, wow.
wow.
Is what I also had to say after reading this. A couple things about it pop out to me. But
Yes.
what was your initial reaction?
I love that the only thing stopping them from saying, "Do you taste as sweet as you look?" is the granddaughter being there. That was the only thing. If she wasn't there, would have come right out at that Golden Corral.
Nothing gets me in the mood more than a buffet. Which also I would assume are illegal in times of COVID, but apparently not.
I mean, I don't know if they've stopped doing buffet style and maybe just serve entrees.
What's
now,
the point?
Right.
Terrible. Yeah, I think that's a really great point. Is that literally the only thing keeping this person from their unrestrained lust was the young granddaughter. Because yes, that would be extremely traumatizing if you heard somebody say to your grandmother, "Do you taste as sweet as you look?" Which is also a line that I feel like is directly plucked from some book of erotica. Like, it's a smooth line. It's immensely creepy to be said to by a stranger. Like, I cannot express how much I would never want anyone I didn't know to say that to me. And I would say 98% of people I do know are not allowed to say it to me. I'll make a list for everyone I know so that you can see if you made it or not. But
I would like to know.
yeah. But what a That is literally, I feel like, a line from a romance novel.
It's pretty cringy, and especially in a Golden Corral next to your granddaughter. Even worse. Like, could
That
you
makes it
imagine?
worse. Yeah.
If you were this hot grandma that was just hungry, was waiting for lunch, and some rando comes up to you, seated next to your granddaughter at the moment, and says, "Do you taste as sweet as you look?" Well, how do you respond? Even if you were into it, how do you respond? Like,
I mean, that's what the writer of this misconnection realized. They said there is nothing that would be the correct response in this situation.
without your granddaughter, without that, take them out of the equation. Because again, that's all this person had an issue with. This is why they didn't go for it.
Yeah.
You're still a hungry woman, just like in the least sexy restaurant I could think of.
Oh,
There's restaurants where you could definitely like this could work.
please. What's a sexy restaurant where you could use the line, "Are you as sweet as you look"?
I'm
'Cause
not going for
I
sexy.
would
I'm just going for sexier than Golden Corral. is
What's
the key.
Sexy? What restaurant do you want to have slippery company with in?
I want to have slippery company in. I think you could make the case. I'm not sexy.
Colin,
just
stop
sexier.
being so ashamed and just say it.
Red Lobster. I think you could make a case. First of all,
Wow.
lobster dinners already a step above buffet as far as sexiness goes.
Cheddar biscuits.
Cheddar Bay biscuits, pretty damn sexy. So I don't know.
Beyonce.
I mean,
Beyonce reference.
I think you could name a sexier restaurant than Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Which
I was gonna say Fogo de Chao. I would have sex in a Fogo de Chao.
That'd be pretty good.
Only if I was then allowed to eat afterwards.
Yeah, it's a whole place that's just it's meat. You have men come around and feed you meat. It's basically they
It
can't put
basically
sex in the
is.
name for some reason, but it basically is.
I mean, they got pretty close. Fogo de Chao.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna call it from now on.
Yeah. Right before the world ended. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but literally on March, I think it was on March 14th, and the world shut down on March 13th, at least for me, I feel like. On March 14th, we had a reservation to go to Fogo de Chao together.
Yeah,
And I will
it's-
never stop being upset about it. That was going to be such a good day. And we were going to go with our friends from Soup Pod Heroes. It was going to be,
Oh my god.
quite frankly, the best podcasters summit that has ever existed.
Well, obviously, that's once we're all vaccinated. That's thing number one.
God bless. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Anyway, solid misconnection.
Thank you.
Good work there.
Yeah, I can go ahead and read another one of yours. Let's go ahead and, excuse me. White Mazda SUV on I-5. Hey, cutie. You were going northbound on I-5 from Salem today. White Mazda SUV with a sticker on the rear window that said something about love. Me, white Kia Optima. We smiled at each other, and then it felt like a mini Fast and the Furious motion down the freeway. I wasn't being a dick. I was flirting. You got off the freeway in Wilsonville. Sad day for me. Message me if this is you. Please?
It's a good read.
Thank you. I really whipped out the drama degree there that I don't have. I don't have a drama degree.
I was gonna say.
I think that if you have to clarify I wasn't being a dick, I was flirting, you're flirting wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely not something you should have to say.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make that distinction. I'm going to say if you've got to say that, you should go back to flirt school and not the one that was like on television where, what was that called? The pickup artist. Don't go to that. That's not what I'm talking about.
Was this a thing? What was this?
You don't remember the pickup? There was this whole trend, and I think it still exists in some like subcultures, but like the pickup artist was like a big deal, and like I think there was a show on MTV, and it was basically this guy who was like, I'm gonna teach you how to have sex with as many girls as you want and pick up any woman at a bar, and basically like his tips were just awful. He was just like, be the worst person to women, like be terrible, be a misogynistic garbage king.
Blee.
And yeah, it was bad.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that directly led to the rise of people like Ben Shapiro. So I feel like those cultures are closely connected in my brain.
I don't think you're wrong. Pour some out for that era, but let's pour it directly into your mouth because I'm sure you need it.
Thank you.
Because of that.
Yes. Yes.
Boy, I do remember, I don't even know. I know it was like singled out and like, what's the Next? Was that it? Next?
Oh my God. Okay, I will not talk shit about Next because I do think Next is one of the finest pieces of television that has ever incredible. You will never get over. There would never be anything better than the comedy of a woman walking off a bus and immediately getting nexted by some douchebag in a polo shirt.
Oh man, it was kind of the Wild West when reality TV started. We just didn't know what we could and couldn't do.
So good, such a good time.
Yeah, there's
for some of us.
for some of us, a great time. For others, if you were
Maybe,
next immediately after walking off a bus,
maybe not so
and
much.
not so much.
Yeah,
and not so much. Yeah.
So
yeah, neither of us has been in this situation before, or.
No, I've never drag raced somebody on the freeway and then been like, this is it. I will say the closest thing I can probably say I have done is when I was in high school, I used to go up to this cabin, my friend's cabin. We would go fairly often. It's like where I had my first alcoholic drink. I smoked weed for the first time. My parents listen to this, so they know what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we used to go up and we didn't have any parental chaperones. It was great. Besides the underage drinking, we were very safe. We never drank and drove or anything. Like
Right.
But one time we were driving back from this and we used to buy just like handles of vodka from a friend's sibling because we never knew when we'd get it again. So we were like driving back and I had driven one of the cars and I like dropped all my friends off and my friend Andrina was driving next to me and we were just like driving down the freeway. And I was alone in my car, and Andrina was in her car. And she, like, pulled up next to me on the freeway. We're both going, like, 60. And she, like, rolls down her window, and she, like, motions at me. And I'm like, what? And I, like, roll down my window. And she leans across her passenger seat while driving and going 60 on the freeway and goes, there's still a handle of vodka in your car. Don't let your parents unload your car.
Oh, my God.
So yeah, that was a moment where I really felt like I was in Fast and the Furious.
That counts. And honestly, I know it's been a while since I watched it, but I'm pretty sure the first Fast and Furious was pretty grounded and low stakes like that. So,
did you say low stakes? Because let me tell you, it wasn't.
Right. No, I mean high stakes, but
thank you.
But low budget.
There's no way to not be offensive about this. It's fine. I was a teen.
Your experience was not quite Fast and the Furious, but it was still pretty good.
Enough. Got it.
I mean, if they did like a Fast and Furious prequel, that would be the shit it would be about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a drag racing moment on the freeway where you were in love with somebody you raced?
Well, actually, funny you ask. No, but
well.
My neighbor did get in trouble for drag racing as a kid, so that's
I thought you were going to talk. I thought you were talking about your old neighbor.
Oh, not that neighbor, no. It's a little, not his speed, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah. Do you want to?
So.
I got some more misconnections. You can do 2 in a row. I feel like because I think you're out of them.
I am out. You used one of mine, so you win this episode.
That's right.
Each episode is a competition. If you haven't been following along, check the scoreboard at CraigCryPod.com. That's CraigCryPod.com. Not a real website. I should probably go reserve it now because now someone's going to steal it.
Now somebody's going to go to it and we're going to lose followers. Okay.
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, anyway, here's more misconnection and goodness. Mixed CD you made me. I'll always love you. Remember the Incubus CD you made me so many years ago? Do you still love me? Did you ever?
I can't name a single Incubus song.
Yeah, oof. I definitely know of one. I think there was one on Guitar Hero, but now like I can't think of what it.
Do you want me to? I'll just play a clip from a Incubus song real quick.
Okay, cool. See if it sounds familiar.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Oh, what? Somehow you what? I don't know what's going on.
This is why you shouldn't have Google Home, is because you'll start playing Incubus songs and it'll be like, "Master is calling me," and then it'll turn like into like an evil robot.
Wow.
It's a sleeper agent, and that's like its kill word.
Incubus is its trigger.
Because they're like, who listens to Incubus? Nobody. So nobody will ever accidentally play Incubus. I did actually recognize that song while we were playing it.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, now I gotta. What was that song?
That was Drive. Drive by Incubus.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
There's so many Incubus fans screaming at us right now.
I'm so sorry, Incubus fans.
I don't know that I know one.
That was, I mean, you don't have to. I just thought that was fun that somebody made somebody else an Incubus CD. And I think it's kind of sweet. Also, I don't think you're allowed to call it a mixtape if it's just one band.
Legally, no. Mix has a very specific definition.
Yeah.
If you get a mixed scoop of ice cream and you get vanilla and vanilla, it's
doesn't count.
It's vanilla. Doesn't count.
Yeah, those are all my thoughts on that one. Do you want to read the second one I have, since that one was such a little baby one?
I mean, I think if there was a third question or a fourth question to add, I think the fourth question was, did you even like Incubus? Like, okay,
did you ever even like Incubus?
Did you ever, like, was it the CD that was the problem? Did you expect me to like it more? Was it a diversion? You know, I don't know. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You cleaned my sidewalk, and even though you were hired by my neighbor, I thought you were so handsome. I wanted to give you my number. Hit me up if you smiled was more than friendly. Winky emoticon. Female for male. Tell me what you power washed off so I know it's you.
I just think that might be like the most unique identifier we've had so far. Is like, usually it's like, tell me what color shirt I was wearing, and this one's like, tell me what you power washed so I know it's you.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But also, how many options is it, like a 50-50 chance? A sidewalk? No.
Yeah, I was about to say
the deck. Okay.
I think it'd be pretty easy to impersonate this person. Yeah, and just be like, tell me what you power washed. Your sidewalk. You literally gave it away in the first sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, they totally did. So, yeah, here's the thing. When you are going into crafting your next misconnection, and you are trying to give that secret identifier, make sure you don't spoil it in the first sentence or in the body of the entire misconnection, would be my advice. Bit of a rookie mistake.
Unless you're trying to find somebody who has good critical reading skills, in which case maybe that's the the ask here.
Like, you just want to get an email from someone who's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you actually led with the answer to your question. You might want to repost that, and you're going to go, this is the one.
That's it. I've always wanted somebody who has critical reading skills, because it's rare. It's rare nowadays.
I mean, we were just talking about things not getting through the censor. This person also included the, F4M, which is like, if you're writing to a specific person, you shouldn't really need that. But I feel like when you slip that in, you're also like opening the doors for, also, whatever is fine. Like, this is for one person, but like, leave it unlocked.
I'll take what I can get.
I'll take what I can get. So if you're just trying to craft a way to invite any random M for your F, then I guess this is how you do it also.
Get an M for your F. I also really liked that they were like, you clean my sidewalk even though you were hired by my neighbor. Like, you didn't have to clean my sidewalk, but you did, and I think you know what that means.
Yeah, you mean doing a bone. Or a pressure washer is just really hard to stop once it gets going.
Yeah, I mean, this is like me every time I think anyone's showing interest in me. I'm like, oh my God, they like blinked at me. Like, they don't do that forever. Like, I think they like me.
It's, yeah, I feel like the same. It's so funny because I have both sides of the coin where it's like, the little things that are just someone being friendly or doing their job are like, this person is thirsty.
Like every cashier at Trader Joe's wants to fuck me.
Yeah. And like,
why are they so friendly then?
why? Well, I mean, there's no other reason. And then on the other side of that, it's like someone could literally be like, I don't know, pointing at my crotch and then pointing at their crotch, like, and I would be like, I don't know you. Do you want me to introduce you to my friend? I don't know.
I hate that visual. Thank you for giving it to me, though.
Yeah, you're welcome. How do you flirt? I don't know.
Ooh, yeah. Mm.
Ooh,
Ooh, don't love it. The way I flirt, I come up to somebody and I say, "Do you want to be my slippery company for the night?" Ooh, it works every time. Hey, I think it's the end of the show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we are here. So, with that being said, we do have one more for you, but do want to say thank you so much to you, the listener, for listening to this show. Craigsistential Crisis is the name of it. If you like what you hear, please consider checking us out in the Apple Podcast app and leaving us a rating or a review. I don't know. I guess we're calling them ratings. But they're kind of both. The rating is the stars. The review is the words that follow. What we'd like is both a rating and a review. If you wouldn't mind doing that, it'll take you, all of 1 minute, but it'll help so many other people. I know when I'm looking for podcasts, I like to look at what other people are saying. And the more people are saying good things, the more likely I am to listen to it. So if you want to help us get seen or heard, that's a way to do it. Leave an honest review. And if you leave us a 5-star review, I'll read it. Whatever it says, no matter what. No consequences. That's not true. There might be consequences.
We can't protect you from the consequences. Free speech doesn't protect you from the consequences of your decisions. Sorry.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure if I say that it was for a podcast, it's okay?
Yeah, let's go with that.
It's the Joe Rogan defense.
We'd also like to thank Rosie Sherman, who does our theme song. Thank you so much for doing that. Check her out on the Instagram at Hey Shermy. And yeah, again, thank you all to our listeners. If you ever have a misconnection you want us to read on the air, feel free to send us an email at craigcrypod@gmail.com. That's CraigCrypod@gmail.com, or send it to us on our Instagram or on our Facebook or on our Twitter. And again, go ahead and check out the show notes for those organizations to donate to. Our thoughts are definitely with the people in Atlanta and the Asian Pacific Islander community. But we're gonna do more than thoughts. We gotta do more than thoughts.
Yeah, we definitely got to. Something we might do is turn our upcoming live show into another opportunity to raise some money. I mean, I know that's something we've done before and something we could do. This is also our way of telling you that we're having another live show. That's going to be March 26th. I do think that's likely to happen, though, so it will be for a good cause. Normally, they're just for fun. This one will turn into an engine for social change. That's going to be March 26th, 7:30 p.m. on Twitch. You can view that at twitch.tv/kickstandcomedy, or you can watch it at the Kickstand Comedy Facebook page. Oh, sorry. The page. It's dark in here.
His accent kicked in there.
My accent kicked in.
Yeah, but thank you so much for listening. We'll have a new episode out probably at some point. I don't know. Not next Thursday because that's the week of the live show. But the one after that, we will.
Yeah. And here it is. One final misconnection. Your art, my garbage. LOL, it's gone. Get over yourself. I'm Talon Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson.
This has been Craigsistential
Crisis.
Get over yourself.
Get over yourself.